Penguins are cute, right? They're walking, they're falling. Funny. But here's the truth. Penguins are the engines of the ocean. They transfer nutrients from the sea to the land. They feed the predators. They keep krill and small fish in check. And they even affect how heat breathes. Antarctica through guano. If you remove the penguins, it's not the picture that breaks. The system will break down. It is important to clarify. Penguins are not just one species. Today, 18 modern species are recognized. Almost everyone lives in the southern hemisphere, and north of the equator, only the Galapagos penguin is found. But their roles are similar. They are marine hunters who come to the land to breed, and this connects the two worlds. Go. 10 functions, and 10 facts that really surprise. 10 functions of penguins in nature with detailed analysis. 1. Mid-level predators. Keep the prey balanced. Penguins are not birds on ice. These are hunters underwater. Krill, fish, squid. They regulate the number of prey locally, and they affect which species dominate coastal ecosystems. 2. A key node in the Antarctic food pyramid. In many areas of Antarctica, everything is based on krill. Penguins are one of the main consumers of krill, and the changes in krill affect penguins very quickly. Simply put, penguins are a sensor of the state of the food supply. 3. Food base for predators. Penguins are being eaten, and this is normal for the ecosystem. Leopard seals, killer whales, large seabirds, especially chicks and eggs. Penguins are the energy that rises up the chain. 4. Transfer of nutrients from sea to land. This is one of the main functions. The penguin feeds in the sea, and then it comes ashore in colonies and leaves the guano. This is how ocean nutrients become fuel for terrestrial life. Mosses, algae, microorganisms, and invertebrates. This is especially important in polar conditions. 5. Antarctic fertilizer and its effect on soils. Penguins create so-called ornithogenic soils, soils formed by birds. These soils are richer in nutrients than the background ones, and the effect persists even after the colony leaves. In other words, penguins are literally changing the fertility map on the coast. 6. Processing of iron in the ocean. There is evidence that penguin guano may be involved in iron processing in the Southern Ocean, and iron is a key limiting resource for phytoplankton. Phytoplankton is the start of the entire marine food chain and part of the global carbon cycle. 7. The formation of hot spots of biodiversity around colonies. A colony is a concentration of nutrients, and where there is food, there is life. The biomass of microorganisms grows next to the colonies. The composition of communities is changing. Scavengers are coming. Whole microsystems are developing. 8. Bioturbation and surface engineering. Penguins walk by the thousands. The paths to the water are becoming stable. The surface is compacted. Snow and soil are redistributed. This is not the main force of the planet, but locally, penguins are really rebuilding the coast. 9. Climate and ocean indicators. Penguins depend on ice, water temperature, and prey availability. When there is less food, they have to dive deeper and fly further with their feet on the water, spending more energy. And this affects the success of reproduction. Therefore, scientists often use penguins as bioindicators of changes. 10. Climate chemistry through ammonia from guano. A fresh and a very interesting line of research. Penguin guano releases ammonia. This affects atmospheric chemistry and the formation of aerosols in the colony area. The point is simple. Penguins are not just about food, they're also about the air. 10 unusual facts about penguins with detailed analysis. 1. There are 18 species of penguins, not one penguin, and a whole range of strategies and sizes. 2. They're not just about Antarctica. There are species in temperate latitudes and even in the tropics. And the only species north of the equator is Galapagos. 3. The emperor penguin has the deepest bird diving. The recorded depth is 564 meters. It's almost fantastic for a bird. 4. They drink seawater. Penguins have salt glands that remove excess salt. Therefore, they can do without fresh water when necessary. 5. Their bones are denser than those of flying birds. This reduces buoyancy, and it helps to dive more efficiently. They are underwater torpedoes. 6. Purring and shouting are not noise, but navigation. There are thousands of birds in the colony. They need to find a partner and a chick. Sound is the main instrument. 7. Guano is not garbage, but a resource. It can affect soils, the ocean, and even the atmosphere. 8. They molt all at once and cannot swim properly during this period. Many penguins undergo catastrophic molting. They change their feathers quickly, and during this period they depend on fat reserves. This is one of the riskiest stages of the year. 9. Populations of some species are highly dependent on krill and ice. There are studies where the decrease in ice and changes in the availability of krill are associated with a deterioration in individual populations, especially in the Antarctic region. 10. Penguins are a bridge between the ocean and land. They eat in the sea. They live in colonies on land. And this transfers energy and substances between worlds. This is their superpower. Conclusion. The penguin is not a symbol of sweetness. The penguin is a working detail of the planet. It holds food chains, feeds predators, fertilizes land, recycles elements, and even affects the air around colonies. Take away the penguins, and the ocean and the coast will begin to rebuild quickly. And it's not a fact that it's soft. If it was useful, subscribe. Here we analyze the animals so that it is clear who really keeps nature in working order. And write in the comments. What surprised you the most? The depth of diving, or the fact that penguins literally fertilize the continent and change the air?